Was there really an alien that died in the Roswell, New Mexico crash? Were they really taken to Area 51? And what are the governments of the world hiding from us? Welcome to This Conspiracist, and on today's episode, what really happened in the New Mexico desert? On June 14th, 1947, a normal day just after the end of the Second World War, a foreman by the name of William Brazel noticed a bunch of debris not far from Roswell, New Mexico. This was the start of one of the most talked about conspiracies of all time. William shrugged it off until the 4th of July, where instead of celebrating Independence Day with his family, they all went to the site to investigate. He collected some of the material and stashed it away. In Roswell at the time, there were many reports of flying discs in the area. When William heard, he decided to report what he had found to the local sheriff, who in turn notified the local Air Force base. On July 7th, an Air Force representative, William, and the sheriff investigated the crash site and found very little left. On July 8th, the Air Force base released a statement saying that they had captured the remains of a flying disc that was the lower part of an ordinary weather balloon. But was this truly the case, or was it something much more sinister? The Roswell incident was largely forgotten until the late 70s, where conspiracy theorists started to debunk the information the government had disseminated to the public at the time. Things weren't adding up, so many people started to investigate. Following large Freedom of Information Act requests, many people were able to get hold of documents pertaining to the events that happened over those weeks in 1947. Books started to be written about the incident, with many questioning the truth behind the government's statements. Some of these documents pointed towards a secret governmental organisation named the Majestic 12. Believed to be a committee of scientists, government officials, and military leaders, formed as a result of an executive order decreed by President Truman in 1947. This group was allegedly set up to recover and investigate crashed alien spaceships and technology. Conclusions from the information found pointed to the recovery of at least one alien spacecraft and numerous alien bodies, which had been taken by the government and hidden from public view. The belief is that the crashed remains and any potential extraterrestrial life were taken to be stored at Area 51 in Nevada, where the technology could be reverse engineered to help the USA in the Cold War. In all actuality, the crashed remains were transported to Fort Worth Army Airfield in Fort Worth, Texas, but that hasn't stopped the belief that there are Roswell remains at Area 51. It wasn't until the late 80s and early 90s that answers were started to be given out. At this time, people who were involved in the incident had started to pass away. There was now a huge area of untapped potential. Deathbed confessions. These confessions reignited the search for answers. A sworn affidavit was obtained from William Hort, the writer of the initial press release, stating that he had seen alien bodies at Roswell. This affidavit was released in 2005 after Hort's death. Well, in the mid-90s, the US government declassified documents stating that the recovered material was from the crash of a high-altitude weather balloon belonging to a military surveillance program named Project Mogul, used to spy on Soviet atomic bomb tests by measuring sound waves in the atmosphere. They also said that the recovered bodies that people remembered seeing were actually anthropomorphic test dummies from other tests mixed with a combination of false memories. But could this be distracting people from the truth? The biggest piece of pro-alien evidence remains the signed affidavit by Hort. However, it was reported that in the lead-up to his death, Hort suffered with memory loss and confusion, which cast doubt on whether the written statement is true. So, How has this conspiracy survived in the face of such a large amount of material that could easily debunk it? Well, there's always something to be said about questioning the intentions of the government. Why did it take them 50 years to decide to tell the public the truth? Why did the Majestic 12 come up in documents found through the Freedom of Information Act? Now is the time for review. Just how believable is this theory? Well, I would rate it as a 2 out of 5 on the believability scale, because there are some things the government needs to make clearer, but there's so much evidence to contradict it that it drops down in how believable it really is. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the Roswell, New Mexico incident, and thank you for watching this episode of This Conspiracist. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this content. And if you have any conspiracies that you would like to see questioned and examined, leave them in the comments down below. What else are the governments hiding from us? And remember, question everything.